I need to talk this one out. You know how we've talked about how it's like sometimes bad things happen and you didn't call in the bad things. But one could argue that. In that, hear me out because I'm trying to see through this one myself. It's like we're always being shown a mirror. And if you don't like the mirror, you need to make internal adjustments. Right? It's just the universe showing you. And so it's like the mirror will get louder and brighter and clearer. It will burn hotter and harder the more you choose not to adjust what you don't like, right? Shift inside, unlock it inside, meet that need in a healthy way, blah, 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 blah. So then essentially, one could argue you did call it in because you chose not to make the adjustment. Had you made the adjustment, it wouldn't have heated up. That's coulda, woulda, shoulda. Well, you didn't. So it got hotter. Hotter and hotter. And that sun can beam the fuck down, can it? Oof, that fire can burn. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay. So, because they're showing me some stuff that it can seem out of our control. Where yes and no. This is going to be hard to verbalize what they're showing. Where you have to ask yourself the hard question. Have you been honoring yourself? Have you been surrounding yourself with other people that are honoring themselves? Or have you not been honoring yourself and loving yourself? Instead, you've been tolerating many things and haven't made the adjustments internally and set the example and continue to be around others who are tolerating and not making the adjustments and not being examples either. And so then you're just amongst a bunch that are calling in the bad. And so it's like we do sometimes have to consistently pivot for ourselves. And we have to continually make the internal adjustments and continually realign with ourselves and continually honor ourselves and continually move towards that way. And that means doing the hard things, right? Leaving people, places, and situations that, of course, you still have love for. But it's the idea of if everybody around you has leaky buckets and you're the only one filling up your own bucket, but then you're pouring into all their buckets, you're going to get drained. And that's not honoring you. It's not. And so is it easy to leave that dynamic, especially when all those people are screaming at you, pulling at you, tugging at you, help, 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 right? But they're not doing anything to help themselves. So you have to make the hard call. Is it going to be hard to tear yourself away from that? Fuck yeah. Fuck, it's hard. Is it the safest bet because it's loving you and then you get to actually live your life? Yeah. And it is the safest bet because staying means you're sacrificing yourself. You're sacrificing your life. So you become the sacrifice and you get hit with all the karma, with all the bad stuff. It sucks. And it sucks leaving because you go through all that evil eye and torment and hell. Right? It seems like between a rock and a hard place. It seems tough. But again, it's tough based on how far from your own alignment you've gotten because you did that. It always comes back to us. It sucks. It sucks to swallow these pills, right? And it can be challenging to navigate all of these understandings when we haven't understood them or seen them this way forever or maybe ever. And so, if you were twisted from the jump, thinking hot was cold and cold was hot, it's a mind fuck and having to unravel all that. But you do. You have to take ownership. You got it wrong from the jump. It's like, again, it goes back to you certainly are welcome to stay in what you claim is hell and have your list of reasons and excuses why you can't get out of hell, but you're going to continue talking about being in hell. By all means, you can spend the rest of your days doing that. Or you can start swimming to shore. It's a choice. It's always a choice. Where you're at is based on your choices. Again, hard pill to swallow, because some of us have, it's like further to go, right? And so then the competing and the comparing, or the you don't understand, or there's so much that comes in that, yeah, it's true. We sometimes will enter in life at seems like a deficit, a negative, right? It's like, well, they had it easier. Again, by all means, sit there with your list of bitching and complaining and excuses, or get to work, right? Like it's a choice. It's a choice. And we don't ever know somebody else's full life. We don't. Even if you lived with them and have been with them together from day one, even if you're twins that were never separated, you still will never experience all of life just like the other person. You just don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they're perceiving things. You don't know all of them. You can't. You don't even know all of you. How could you know all of them? Right? So we can't fully understand how somebody else perceives things. So we don't need to judge and compare and compete. What you would deem as horrific, they might deem as easy peasy, and vice versa. So it's adding to your list of excuses and books when you do that. Don't bother. You're not getting to where you want to go while you sit there and focus on that. Or you can enjoy that. Like I've shared with you, there's a comedian that makes a joke about that I think is hysterical. He enjoys complaining. He has found that to be very, very pleasurable. And it's hysterical hearing that, but he's dead serious. And he's right. There are a tremendous amount of people that love indulging in the complaining. They love it. And it is decadent and indulgent when all your needs are met, everything's filled, you know how to meet all your needs, and you're not in deprivation in any which way. Then they have found that spot is enjoyable for them. Yet, if you're in deprivation and you're doing that same complaining, it's not as decadent or indulgent or enjoyable. It's agony, and it's anger, and it's frustration. There's a difference, right? Like, he's complaining about it. He doesn't really care. He's just complaining about it. He can still be happy because all of his buckets are filled and he's floating high. Does that make sense? Where somebody else who is doing that same complaining, you can hear the difference. You can hear the anger. You can hear the frustration because they don't know how to get up and out of it because all their other needs aren't being met either. And so it's a real problem. And it's going to drive them further into the ground if they keep up with that complaining. So it's interesting they're saying and showing it this way because it's like, well, then maybe that comedian's complaining it's not only doing a beautiful thing where it makes everybody laugh because he's hysterical, but it's also a way to show others to not take life so seriously. Not just with the comedy of it, but also the fact that he can complain and still be happy. You can hear the tone difference. So hopefully, like, if others who are really angry and had the same complaint could see him and hear him doing it, they could lighten up to that reality of, oh, I am making that a bigger deal than it needs to be. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I was just about to jump off, but they're reminding me of, there's this really funny couple I found on Instagram. I think they're really hilarious. The wife ends up filming the husband, but the husband is pretending to be her, and she's pretending to be him behind the camera. So he comes in, and he always has like this big water bottle and straw in his hand, and he has this like backpack or purse like across his chest, and he is trying to like walk like her and talk like her, and it's hysterical seeing him do it just from the imagery alone that I just told you, but the fact that it's so true. The things he's saying are so ridiculous and obnoxious and horrific. And if it was really him saying that to her, she would be horrified at the ridiculousness and the meanness and all these things. And yet we can't hear it. And this is a way to put that mirror up to show us, oh, that is how I sound. Oh, that is what I'm doing. Oh, that is ridiculous, right? And they do it in such a great way. I mean, it's so funny. Like there was one, I think it was like just the last one they showed me. There was much better ones, but the last one was like, he came in with that whole full gear and get up, and she was behind the camera, but again, pretending to be him. And she was, I guess, eating something. And so the husband, pretending to be the wife, was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm eating chips. I told you we're having dinner. You're not going to be hungry for dinner. You can. I mean, treating him like a child and then going on and on about, she just bought those yesterday. How could he be eating them? And he's like, okay, so I shouldn't eat the food in the house if it's freshly bought. It's like, what exactly are you saying? Wait until it's stale? Like, we can't eat. But we do these things, right? We do say these things, think these things, because it's living in lack and scarcity and fear and worry, in a wanting to control. It's hysterical because it's showing our own lack of awareness, our own lack of control, our own lack of, yada, yada, yada. And so when that mirror is held up, and in such a funny way, it can allow us to laugh, hysterically, and to recognize, oh shit, I need to lighten up, right? Because we all take life way too seriously. I know I do.
Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.